Fans of a Horus Heresy, thank you very much for joining me for an out-of-the-pack review of some miniatures I picked up as early releases from Warhammer Fest 2018, and these are the Alpha Legion Terminators, or as they are more correctly known, the Lernaean Terminators. These are the cataphracti armoured elite of Alpharius's Legio XX. What we get in here is we get a full squad, so we get 5 models. It is a full resin kit, and what we're going to do in this review is we're going to open them up and take a look at the models, see what we like, have a look at the details, appraise the quality, and just generally see what the kit is about. So it comes in this rather smart Forge World box. This is a new design. It's it's really quite a compact small box, and interesting what this may tell us, and we'll be having another video about that later. So without further ado, let's open this up. Be very careful, so I don't want to damage this rather nice box. The Lernaean cost £60. At £60, that makes them the same cost as other recent Terminators that have been added to the Horus Heresy range. For example, the Varangia Terminators, the Space Wolves, and more appreciated by the fans, the Tyrant Siege Terminators for the Iron Warriors. So let's see what we get in the box, well, as well as the box itself. We get an instruction sheet and a QC packing sheet. So this was packed by SB on the 3rd of April. So what was that? About a month. So 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks before Warhammer Fest. So they've been working the stock up, and they certainly had a lot of stock on the day, I thought. We get the actual miniatures and the instructions. Let us start off with a look at the instructions. There you go, Alpha Legion Lernaean Terminators. And we have a little fluffy bit there. And a colour photo of the assembled squad painted by Forge World's studio painters. And we've got the parts list, and an example of how to assemble the model there. And I've just noticed something really cool. We get 5 Volkite chargers plus an additional conversion beamer. So you've got the weapon option there to include the conversion beamer, or just to arm them all with the Volkite chargers. That's really good. I don't know if I've seen that in a Terminator set by Forge World before, getting the option to include or not include special weapons. So yeah, I really like that. That's neat. And yeah, fairly straightforward exploded diagram. They're not particularly complex miniatures. We get a torso, we get shoulders, arms, axes, heads. Now, instantly I've seen something very interesting here. We have a design change on previous models in terms of how the cataphracti shoulder range goes. That is very interesting. You get that, and then you get some more pictures of the studio models, and that's good for ideas about how to assemble and paint your own. Right, enough of that bit. Let's now dive into the package. So we get 5 40mm plastic bases, pretty standard fare there, and the models. Right, well, let's start off by looking at the actual torsos of these chaps. Very good, look at that. Now, you remember from my review of Alpharius, I was saying how I really like the Alpha and Broken Chain insignia, and they've reproduced that again on the Terminator here, and we've got the same sort of scale armor designs that we saw in Alpharius, and lots of Hydra motifs and more Hydras. Yeah, really nice. I gotta admit, these are beautiful cataphracti models, absolutely beautiful, perfect casting. That's absolutely spot on there. Really, really nicely turned out. Let's see how the rest of them are. So, number 2. Got a little mould seam, or well, a bit more than a little mould seam to take away here. That's going to need some careful work, not to destroy any detail there. That's easier to do. But apart from that, that's good. And classic cataphracti design, but just given that Alpha Legion twist. Interesting that these are single piece bodies. I've not bought the Tyrant Terminator, so I don't know if those are single piece torsos. I suspect they are, but perhaps someone in the comments can correct me. Got a slip there. That's going to need some fixing. But otherwise, that's looking good. I quite like the idea behind these already in terms of the design, having a single piece body. I mean, it's less posability, but having built 10 of the original Forge World refractory Terminators, the torso fit isn't that great, and there's quite a lot of additional work required to get them right. In some respects, I don't think it's a bad idea to go for a single piece body. Forge World could redesign the Cataphractii kit to make them fit better, and maybe that might be happening. So here we've got the next guy, another slip clean up there, a few bit of slippage, a little bit more around there. So there's a bit more work to do on this guy to clean him up. The absolutely essential thing though is we don't have any slips going across these scale details, because they'll be very, very difficult to put right. Have we got different designs, or is it? Yeah, no, it's a common design across all of them. I wonder if there's an officer. There isn't really an officer as such, is there? They're all identical. Very Alpha Legion. Who is our leader? He's our leader. No, I'm our leader. We are all the leader. Yeah, lovely. Slippy doodahs to clean up here. Those look lovely. Beautiful cast. They're all very dry. Feel very clean. Looking at the surface, there's no real evidence of excess release agent, so they look very nice indeed. Okay, let's now do the arms. Right, I mentioned about the arms and how I'm interested in them. Let me tell you why. So firstly, the details. We've got classic shoulder, I don't know what you would call those. These are straps that hang down, or chainmail straps, or whatever exotic material a particular legion uses. They all look very good. And I love the details, nice characterization there. Same sort of weapon system design as other Cataphractii. So if you wish to arm these with weapons from upgrade sets, they would be compatible. All very nicely detailed, and the continuation of the Pythian scale style on the vambrace. Interesting thing, really interesting thing here is look at the design on these arms. The original Cataphractii have the first of the two shoulder pauldrons molded as part of this arm, and if we look at this one here, we can see this is underlying plate here. What they've done in this kit is they've changed the design, take that off, and combine the two pauldrons, the double layer pauldrons, into a single piece, and have the arm entirely separate with a universal peg, which you can see there, which is going to attach it. I suspect this is why all of those Cataphractii shoulder pads may be being taken out of stock. Our Forge World about to redesign that kit from scratch with this new system. I really liked the design, this idea that they've done here. I've built the original Cataphractii. I don't really like the layered shoulder pad design, particularly with those upgrade sets. They don't interface very well, and it took a lot of work to get them looking right. I think this is a much better design for Cataphractii for the future. Let's hope this is the start of how they're going to go from now on. Talking of that, let's take a look at this bit here. So these are the pauldrons, the super hefty ones that Cataphractii are well known for. Lovely. And then the second set here. Yeah, perfectly cast, and again, nice and dry parts being turned out there. No slippy or sliminess. Slippy or sliminess? No sliminess or slippiness. Right, the heads. Really nice heads, look at that. You can just imagine them standing there saying, we are Alpharius. And their helmet design is consistent with Alpharius's helm of his Primarch armor. So a nice design cue they fed through into these. But now we're firmly into guns and ammo. Let's do their signature battle arm, which is a Volkite charger. So you get 5 of these, that's excellent. You get the parts in the kit so you can arm them with a conversion beamer or without. Brilliant stuff, Forge World. Thank you, I appreciate that. Let's take a look at the Volkites. Got a little bit of cleanup to do there. Fins are well formed, the cooling fins, and nicely sculpted hand grips and trigger fingers on the weapons. Everybody knows why I'm pointing out. Good to see a return to the high quality, really detailed sculpting that we all know and love from Forge World, and the same again with another 3. Touch of cleanup to do there. Yeah, this kit's very nicely turned out. I'm really encouraged by the redesign of the shoulder pads. I was kind of not looking forward to having to do the two-piece shoulder pads on these, to get them and then find that they're single-piece jobs. I'm really pleased about that, so that's going to make them a lot more enjoyable to build, much more enjoyable. I'm really pleased by that. Firmly in the weird and wonderful weapon choices department, we have a special weapon option, the conversion beamer. We will have a talk about the conversion beamer when we do the rules review later. But it's a very unusual weapon for an objective camping unit to have. I mean, the conversion beamer it's not a bad support weapon, but it's best when you're shooting at long ranges. Sort of, you know, I think you want to be shooting at 40 plus inches, or is it 42 plus inches, to get that large blast, strength 10, AP1 wallop off this. That's what you really want. It's an interesting mix with the Volkite chargers, and we'll talk about that later. But I do really like that we've just got a Terminator with a conversion beam, and this opens up so many possibilities for conversions as well. You take this weapon, it's not too Alpha Legion, a little bit of cleanup work, either with a knife or with filling, and you could mask off that scale armor design, and then you've got a conversion beamer that could go on all sorts of other models, underslung weapon. So, you know, tech marine possibilities, I guess, are clear to see. Brilliant, love that. And then finally, we've got their signature melee weapon, which is the Power Axe. The Alpha Legion fluffiness continues through with these. Oh, we've got these lovely Hydra designs integrated into the weapon. Yeah, do like that. Quadrize a bit of a displacement there that's going to need cleaning up. A little bit of flash and runoff. Flash isn't a problem, it just needs trimming away. Very easy to do. And then the second three, a little bit of displacements here and there, clean up. But the bit more there, that's going to be a bit more fiddly to do. So obviously the scale detail on the axe half, need to be careful not to obliterate that, taking a mold seam away. You know, credit to the Forge World sculptor. They've done a wonderful job, and these are so rich with the flavour of the Alpha Legion. Dated, yeah, 2018. There you have it, an out-of-the-pack review of the Alpha Legion Lernaean Terminators by Forge World. What do I think? I think this kit's very nicely turned out. There is some cleanup work to do, but there's nothing that's a nasty in there. And overall, as I say, they're beautifully turned out. Really encouraged and pleased to see the redesign of the cataphractii shoulder. I think that's really cool, and hopefully we're going to see that gradually filter through across all of the cataphractii Terminator models that Forge will do. So those are my thoughts. We're very interested to hear what you think as well about these models in the comment section, so please do share those. Other than that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you next time, and goodbye.